This is our brand new greenhouse facility, and you can see that we're in what we call the temperate room. So this part of the facility, we keep it at sort of a lower temperature. If you were to walk into that room, it would be about 90 degrees, and it's also a much higher humidity, so we keep it at about 60% humidity next door, 90 degrees. Here we keep it a little bit cooler, lower humidity. And we do that so we can grow different types of plants, obviously. So this is one. This greenhouse facility is extremely nice. We have those weather stations over there, which you guys can pan over later. Those weather stations allow us to control the temperature, the humidity. It's the nicest greenhouse facility I've ever worked in, and I've worked in a number of places. The head house prep area is amazing. We have environmental growth chambers. So the greenhouse, although we can control the climate, we can't control it really tight. We can, keep it within plus or minus 10 degrees. We can't keep it much tighter than that. But with these environmental growth chambers, we can keep the temperature condition and other environmental conditions much closer to what we're looking for, so we can do lots of different research with them. So this is one area I work in. I also have research space downstairs, and then we use the chemistry facilities. I do different kinds of research. So the laboratory research I do is primarily focused on looking at how the Hmong people have used plants for medicine. So looking at traditional Hmong medicines. And the work is primarily done by students, and we do it at a couple different levels. So this work, I'm pretty excited about this work because it actually starts in high schools. So we work with high school teachers, 2-year campuses, and then here at this 4-year campus, so we can help to move students from high schools who maybe wouldn't have chosen to go to college, let alone go into STEM careers, to help them kind of get engaged in sciences early on. So we use the data to promote the project. We go to scientific conferences, and recently my students just presented at the Botanical Society of America conference. We had one last year in Utah, and then the year prior to that was in Vancouver, British Columbia. So we presented the work there. We publish research papers on this. We present at regional and national and international conferences. This year I'm planning to go to the International Conference of Ethnobiologists, and that's in Tofino, British Columbia. I really love British Columbia. So, but it's not just me, and I think one thing I really want to highlight here is that the work is done by the students. We mentor the students in the work, but the work is done by the students, and the students are the ones that are presenting the work. So the most recent paper that we just submitted was actually not with the Hmong work, Hmong medicinal plant work. The paper that we submitted this past spring was this tissue culture technique that we developed with a previous student. She was the first author on the paper, and she wrote the paper. I was an author on the paper with her, but it was really her work, and she published it. So I think that's really important, that our students are published authors. Sort of was fortunate that there was a job opening here at Stout when I was looking for a job. I did my undergraduate degree at University of Wisconsin. Truthfully, I didn't really know a lot about Stout because it was kind of, when you grow up in Wisconsin, you're sort of, at least this is how it was when I was a kid, you're sort of kind of familiar with your general vicinity, but not much else. And so I wasn't that familiar with Stout, but I was looking for a position, and I only was looking for positions at the university, in the University of Wisconsin system. The only positions I applied for were UW positions. And so I had an interview here, and I immediately felt this connection to Stout and the mission of Stout, which is really applied learning, hands-on, because that's how I learn. And I think what I love about it is how we're doing things that matter. I know lots of researchers who are doing things that probably no one will ever read about, hear about, care about, and they won't in our lifetimes make any difference. But we are dealing with problems that if we don't start coming to some resolution, solving some of these problems, we're not going to have to worry about what our kids' kids are going to be doing, because there's not going to be much around for them to worry about. I mean, I think we're at a time in our history that we have to get serious and about making an impact much bigger than I would make by myself, because I'm working with dozens and dozens of students, and we're doing things that I just feel really passionate about. So, that's why I'm here, and that's what I love about the Applied Science program, that we're interdisciplinary, we're very collaborative, and everyone's on the same page. Everyone knows that we need to prepare you guys to go solve some big problems.